I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Almighty God, Creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech Thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with Thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Honorable members, I have examined and approved the second votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 18 February 2025. It's my pleasure to recognize the presence of students of Jewel Model Schools who are here with us. Please, can you rise for recognition? Please, can we appreciate their presence here? You may sit down. We also have students coming from Christ Academy International School. Please, can you rise for recognition? You're welcome. Please sit down. Petitions? Any member with a petition? Yes, Honorable. Kickstart.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues. I have a petition from Mark Dibbs and Co. It's an urgent request for immediate intervention in the matter of wrongful dismissal of Mr. Kadoze Kachuku and the implementation of the resolution of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. With your permission, may I lay this petition, sir?
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? Any more petitions?
Mr. Speaker?
Yes, please. Honorable Rodney.
My highly respected Speaker and distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Rodney Ebikebina-Maiwe. I represent the good people of Southern Niger Federal Constituency of Oyo State, the glory of all land. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from concerned stakeholder of Ogbenbiri community, and the petition is addressed to Mr. Speaker through me, and what they are requesting for is for your intervention and a meeting between Oando Energy Resources, PLC, and the stakeholders of Ogbenbiri community. And the petition is against the activities of Oando Energy Resources, PLC, an oil company operating in and around Ogbenbiri community. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, this petition is signed by about 19 members of the Apoy clan. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, may I lay this petition before the floor of the House. Thank you.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? None? These two petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, It's my pleasure to invite Honorable Afam Victor Ogene, who has a motion to present.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My dear colleagues, Victor Afam Ogene is my name. I speak for and on behalf of the people of Ogbaru Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, Ogbaru is in Anambra State. I come under Order 8 through 5, urging this House to suspend its relevant rules and allow me to take a matter of urgent public importance and also to take it immediately. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg?
The title.
You didn't tell them the title. Please, can you read it out for them to make up their minds?
The title of the motion is Need for the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control to exercise caution against hurting businesses of innocent traders during its operations in drug markets, ancillary markets.
Okay. So any seconder to the first leg? Honorable, okay? Honorable, okay, did I see you raising your hands? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Barrister Jesse Okejo Onakalus. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I represent the Nigerians, especially the habit of Lagos. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, I write to second the first leg of this motion that is urgent enough to be heard now. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. The second leg of the motion. Honorable Miriam.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, distinguished honorable colleagues.
But you have to tell us, do you have a shop in the market that you are so excited to second?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Once again, honorable colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent Okigwe North Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. This morning, I rise to second the second leg of the motion to allow us take his motion of urgent public importance and that it is urgent enough to be taken right now. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable Victor, you have the floor.
Thank you once again, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. Motion of urgent national importance, need for NAFDAC to exercise caution against hurting businesses of innocent traders during its operations in drugs markets. The House notes the ongoing efforts by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to crack down on merchants of fake and counterfeit medicines. Aware that NAFDAC recently sealed medicine markets in Idumota, Lagos State, Ariaria, Abia State, and Onitsha in Anambra State. Also aware that the ongoing enforcement operations by NAFDAC at these drug markets is to rid the country of counterfeit and substandard medicines. Concerned, however, that many people operating in the affected markets have complained about the blanket disruption of businesses, including those of innocent traders, causing significant losses of goods and money. Worried by the reports that NAFDAC sealed the affected markets and denied the traders and its leadership entry, while its officials proceeded to break into shops, cutting away pharmaceuticals, without owners of such shops being allowed to witness the operation and take inventory. Further worried that such a brazen approach and unilateral break-in and confiscation of the goods from the markets without allowing the leadership of the markets and their owners to witness the process will make accountability difficult and also dent the integrity of the operation. Disturbed by reports that some traders and point-of-sale POS operators were forced to leave significant amounts of cash in their shops during the sudden raid and closure of the markets over the weekend, with no clear means of recovering these funds, leading to frustrations and bewilderment. The House then resolves to, 1, urge NAFDAC to go about the assignment in adherence with global best practices, such that legitimate and innocent traders are not caught in the quagmire. 2, direct the House Committee on NAFDAC to investigate these concerns with a view to ensure that livelihoods of innocent trade vendors engaged in legitimate businesses in the affected markets are not unfairly impacted. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Victor. Any seconder? Doctor?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am Honorable Dr. Wale Ahmed. I represent both the good and the good people of Agege Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I want to second, sir, it is necessary, but I want you to kindly permit me to suggest a slight amendment.
To do what?
To suggest a slight amendment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Prayer 2, sir, will just suffice. Prayer 1 is rather ambiguous for NAFDAC to go by global best practices. It may be difficult to define what global best practices are, but prayer 2 captures all the things that are necessary to provide remedy for this situation. And if that is accepted, sir, it's my pleasure to second the motion as moved.
So you have two in one. Any seconder to the amendment? The most important pastor in this chamber, Honorable Pastor Izzy.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the speaking speaker. Izzy, Nwachukwu is my name. I represent the good people of Ebonyi, Ohauku Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from the most fast developing state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, south of the nation state, Ebonyi. I hereby, distinguished colleagues, stand this morning to second the motion as moved by my brother that represents the good and bad people of Agege. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Any seconder to the main motion? Honorable Namchi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency. Nnamdi Ezechi is my name, and I represent Ndokwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here to second this motion, ably moved by my dear brother. I so second.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on NAFDAC for further legislative action. The next motion is coming. Yes, what's the point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Right Honorable Chinedu Ogao, and I'm coming under 6, Rule 1 and 2, under privilege. Mr. Speaker, I represent Ikwu and Ezausa Federal Constituency, and I was elected under the platform of APC to represent my constituency in Nigeria. But Mr. Speaker, having suffered in this National Assembly to present a bill that passed first reading, second reading, and third reading, after that bill being transmitted to the Senate, none of that bill had been.
Honorable colleague, if you can kindly permit, I will still recognize you when we finish motions of urgent public importance,
Thank you, Mr.
I will
Speaker.
yield the floor to you to speak on that subject matter, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to invite Right Honorable Bamidele Salami, who is presenting on behalf of about 7 or 8 other members a motion that he deems urgent and urgent for you to hear. Honorable Bamidele Salami.
Thank you very much for the honor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my name is Bamidele Salam. I represent Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Oyo State. And Mr. Speaker, like Riley said, I'm standing this morning on behalf of 8 other elected members of this House from Oyo State. I come under Order 8, Rule 5, Mr. Speaker, to ask for the leave of this Honorable House to move a motion of urgent public importance on the need to maintain peace, order, and rule of law in Oyo State in view of recent happenings which has led, unfortunately, to the death of 6 persons and injuries to scores of others. I want to seek the leave of the House to move this motion under relevant rules as a motion of urgent public importance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Stanley, you want to second the first leg?
Yes. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The Ian Zauzao. My name is Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide. I represent the people of Ibadan, Northwest, Southwest Federal Constituency. I rise to second this motion ably moved by Honorable Bamidele Salam. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Second leg of the motion, Honorable Ebikake.
The Right Honorable Speaker, the Ebimowe of Bayelsa State, my dear colleagues, I remain Rep. Marie Enenimiete Ebikake, representing the wonderful and peace-loving people of Brass Nembe Federal Constituency. Of course, I'm from Bayelsa State. I rise this morning to second the second leg of the motion ably moved by my Osun State colleagues. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Bamidele, please go ahead.
Thank you so much for your kind consideration. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning on behalf of the Right Honorable Okebusayo Oluwole, Honorable Ajilisoro Taufik Abimbola, Honorable Omerin Emmanuel Olusanya, Honorable Adebolanre Alomaleye, Honorable Adewale Maruf Adebayo, Honorable Modashu Lukman Alani, Honorable Akoni Clement Ademola, and Honorable Adetunji Abidemi Olusoji to move this motion of urgent public importance. The House notes that on Monday, the 17th of February 2025, violence broke out in several parts of Oyo State as a result of attempts to take over the administration of local government by officials who were sacked by 2 court judgments in November of 2022. Disturbed that the sacked officials are now breaking the gate of their respective local government secretariats to forcefully take over the local government without recourse to law and due process. The House notes that the governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Senator Ademola Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke, as the Chief Security Officer of the state, had addressed a press conference on Sunday, 16th of February, and alerted the nation about an imminent threat to peace and security in the state, while calling on the Inspector General of Police and other heads of security formations to take proactive steps to forestall the violence. Concerned that if the current trend of resort to self-help by political actors is not nipped in the bud, it might encourage citizens to do same in the face of perceived rights and privileges. Worried that the present situation in Oyo State may snowball into a free-for-all unless urgent actions are taken by relevant authorities. Concerned that the preventable violence which happened in Oyo State has led to the death of 6 persons, while scores of others have suffered severe injuries and presently receiving treatment in various hospitals. Further worried that if prompt action is not taken against this lawlessness and arbitrariness, it may escalate into a more serious security challenge in Oyo State. Aware that by virtue of Section 14(2)(b) of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the most fundamental objective and purpose of government is the security and welfare of the people. Also aware that as elected representatives of the people, the House of Representatives has a duty and responsibility to ensure safety of lives and properties in Nigeria by weighing in on this matter. Assured that the Nigeria Police, the Department of State Service, and other security agencies have the capacity to restore normalcy in a neutral manner to all local government in Oyo State. The House hereby resolves: 1, to condemn any resort to self-help, violence, killing and harassment by individuals and political interests, especially the sacked local government officials who are presently taking over local government secretariats. 2, call on the Inspector General of Police, the DG of DS and other security heads to ensure normalcy and restore order to all local government in Oyo State. And 3, urge the Attorney General of the Federation to properly advise all parties to the dispute in the control of local government in Oyo State as to the true position of the law, and encourage aggrieved parties to seek judicial enforcement of rights rather than use of force. And 4, to observe a minute of silence in honor of persons killed in the course of the crisis that occurred on Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Amendment?
Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Oh.
Seconder, it doesn't matter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Ayakunle Isiaka. I speak for and on behalf of the very good people of the Oyo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, I'm from the fastest growing economic state in Nigeria. As much as we all sympathize with what's happening in Oyo State, and we pray that Almighty Allah, that's one of Allah, put a stop to it. The newspapers and media have been so awash with what my very distinguished honorable colleagues moved. And the background and the House.
Just go to the amendments you want to propose.
My amendment to this prayer is that all the prayers, except that of the 1 minute silence, should be deleted, while the House, not to be seen as being partisan, to call for a committee to investigate this matter, and the outcome of the committee will give us an informed decision on how to approach this precarious situation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Well, you didn't recommend a committee. Which committee or committees do you have in mind?
We have eminent personalities.
Or you are talking about an ad hoc committee. We have to know which of the two
ad hoc committee, Mr. Chairman, sir, so that they can swing into action almost immediately and then report back to this very House within just 1 week, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay, any seconder to this amendment? Honorable Akala?
Thank you,
I think Honorable Adi is a very good idea. When we are talking about issues that have happened, we are not police, we are not judge, we don't know what actually happened. It is always a bit dangerous for us to take decision without investigating the matter ourselves. Before we take a position with finality, we need to do the investigation, conduct the investigation ourselves. So whatever happened, we put it in the legal term, allegation, alleged until it is proven, isn't it? So it is in that context I felt that what Honorable Isiaka is proposing is a good one. Is a good one, that we should have a committee to investigate and report back. The result of the investigation will inform us as to what direction our resolution will take. You understand? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues. While I have no problem on the issue of setting up an ad hoc committee, but I want to call our attention to his prayers. And I believe if you look at number 2 of the prayers, call on the Inspector General of Police, the DG, DSS, and other security heads to ensure normalcy and order is restored. This is key, and this is important. It's not condemning, it's not accusing anybody. Then the second one is all the Attorney General of the Federation to properly advise all parties. Since there's an argument about court judgment, Attorney General can be able to...
I thought, leader, when you have an investigative committee, all those prayers, all those
but for the meantime, for the
can be
the IG has to act. If the crisis continue...
I agree with you, yes. The one in respect of the Inspector General can be sustained,
yes,
along with the last prayer to observe a minute's silence. And then the others can go through the ad hoc committee. The first one
is condemn any resort of self-help, violence, killings, and harassment by individual and political interests, whichever political
I believe the investigative panel can be able to unravel that and even apportion blame to the parties concerned.
Okay.
You understand?
So, Mr. Speaker, I suggest, just like you said, we should delete number 1, but allow 2, 3, and 4.
Allow 2 and 4. Allow 2 and 4.
Number 3 is the Attorney General, sir.
The Attorney General can only act when we have findings from the ad hoc committee. That will not inform us as to what action the Attorney General will take.
It's okay, sir. So let's delete the 2 and...
So maybe, Honorable Isiaka, if you can rephrase your amendment, yes, and then we take a seconder.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Speaker Ian Zazao, and my very leader for bringing that up. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to rephrase my amendment that prayers 2 and 4 be sustained, and 1 and 3 deleted, and we had the additional prayer of setting up an ad hoc committee to conduct an investigative hearings into this unfortunate incident and report back to the House within 1 week. I so move, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay, I think I have identified Honorable Akala to second this amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Leader.
My name is Olamijuwon Ayodeji Alawakala. I represent the good people of Ogbomoso North, South, and the River constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the Bayelsa State. I hereby stand this afternoon to second the motion second the amendment as ably moved by the Deputy Chief Whip. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Observation. Those against should say nay. That is it.
Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the main motion?
Amendment, please.
Amendment again?
Yes, sir, please. I want to...
Please go ahead.
To the amendment, sir. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Nolemo Nad is my name. Nkano East West Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I agree that we should expunge number 3, but sir, look at number 1, because we should condemn it.
We have already decided this should have come before we hit the gavel. But we already took decision right now to suspend or to remove 1 and 3. We cannot revisit what we have taken decision on. It's too late. Look at our rules. We just took decision on that.
No, but it's an amendment. I want to come up.
There is no way you can amend what has already been approved. You can only come by way of rescission. And rescission takes a period of time before you can revisit it. So any seconder to the main motion? Seconder. Honorable Alimadaki.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved. I do second.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion will be referred to a committee, another committee to be set up in due course. The next motion is coming from Right Honorable Ino Garba. If Honorable Garba is around, please can you rise and move your motion? Not around? The next motion is coming from Right Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. If Honorable Musa is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
I'm around, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the people of Bida, Lokoja Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning.
Honorable Saidu, please, somebody is coming under point of order. Let's hear what he's going to say.
Speaker, the last motion we took, there was supposed to be a 1-minute silence.
Oh, yes. Honorable colleagues, please can we rise for a minute silence? So sorry for that. May their soul rest in peace. So, Honorable Saidu, please proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the good and peace-loving people of Bida, Lokoja Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to present a matter under Order 8, Rule 5, which has to do with the incessant parking of petroleum and articulated vehicles in Bida, and as this has the potency to threaten the peace that we enjoy in Bida. Mr. Speaker, the activities of these tanker drivers have resulted to plenty deaths over the past few months, and because of the potency for it to lead to a breakdown of law and order, I have come up with this motion and wish to urge my colleagues to consider it urgent enough to be taken under our rules as spelled out. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Badao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. my honorable colleagues. Bada Ahmed Yusuf is my name. I represent Shanono Pagwe constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I stand before you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, to second the motion heavily read by my honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Second leg of the motion. My plateau brother.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Honorable Ajang Alfred Elia, representing the good people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. I rise to second the second leg of this motion, that this matter is urgent enough to be heard. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Zaidu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House notes that concerned residents and youth groups in Bida have written to the Speaker of the House of Reps through my office their reservations over the indiscriminate parking of petroleum and articulated vehicles along major roads in the town, which has resulted in severe safety and environmental risk. Further note, the recent tragic tanker explosion at Diko Junction in Niger State, which claimed numerous lives and destroyed properties, highlights the grave danger posed by improperly parked tankers and the urgent need for regulatory enforcement to prevent similar occurrences. Aware that associations including Nupe Excel, Lanzun Youth Development Association, PIDA 70, and EAT Youth Association, PIDA, have raised alarm over the dangers posed by these parked tankers, including increase in road accidents, environmental hazards from flammable substances, traffic congestion, and growing security concerns. Further aware that the Niger State government, in a bid to provide lasting solution and mitigate the danger posed by these articulated vehicles, has, in spite of endless needs competing for its scarce resources, embarked on the construction of a 44 kilometers dual carriage ring road bypass with complementary infrastructures, including a trailer transit park around Bida. Acknowledge that the abandonment of the Mokwa-Makera Tegina-Beningwari Kaduna route due to activities of bandits, kidnappers, and the deteriorating nature of the road, which was once adjudged as the most economically viable road in West Africa, has resulted to more traffic on the Bida-Agela-Lambata-Suleja road. Concerned that the slow pace of the construction of the Bida-Suleja road, in spite of an alternative funding source through the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme, has contributed hugely to the indiscriminate parking of tankers along major roads on the route, thereby worsening traffic congestion and increasing the risk of accidents. Further concerned that due to the hazardous situation, a tragic incident recently occurred in Bida where a tanker crushed a nursing mother to death while her husband suffered the loss of his legs, emphasizing the need to act urgently and decisively. Worried that failure to act promptly can result to continuous threat to lives and properties, given the volatile nature of petroleum products and the high volume of vehicular and pedestrian movement along the affected road. Further worried that the continued presence of these tankers without proper regulatory enforcement hampers economic activities and threatens public order in Bida. The House therefore resolves to urge the Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Road Safety Corps, and Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to continuously engage and sensitize Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, Petroleum Tankers Drivers Association, National Association of Road Transport Owners, and other relevant stakeholders on the need to adhere to established safety standards and to also strictly enforce regulations relating to movement of articulated vehicles, especially against indiscriminate parking of tankers along major roads in Bida. Call on the Federal Ministry of Works, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, and the Nigerian Ministry and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to, as a matter of urgency, seek collaborative partnership with Niger State government and interested private sector investors to provide well-structured parking facilities, trailer transit parks in major towns along the route from Jeba to Suleja, particularly in Bida and Lambata, to ensure safety and smooth traffic flow. Call on the Federal Ministry of Works to prioritize and fast-track the ongoing reconstruction of the Bida Agela Lambata Suleja road to ease vehicular movement, mitigate traffic congestion and reduce the need for tankers to park along major roads on the route. Call on the Federal Ministry of Government through the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Federal Ministry of Works to prioritize the security and the construction of the Mokwa-Makera Tekin-Abinyongwari Kaduna Road. All security agencies to enhance patrol and monitoring of these high-risk areas to prevent security breaches and possible threats to the lives of Bida residents. Mandate the House Committee on Works, Petroleum Resources Downstream, Federal Road Safety, Special Duties and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Idris Ahmed.
Excellency, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris, representing Wase. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my brother. I say second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the committees on works, petroleum resources downstream, Federal Road Safety, Special Duties for further legislative action. The last but not the least is a motion coming from Honorable Daladi Suleiman Agwe. If Honorable Daladi is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. My name is Honorable Daladi Suleiman Agwe, member representing the good and very fantastic people of Lokoja-Benin Expressway. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Oyo State. Please permit me to come on order 852, a motion of urgent public importance on the need to intervene on the constant accident on Lokoja-Benin Expressway. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Any seconder to the first leg? Ambassador.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Ambassador Daniel Asma, and I represent the people of Bassa, Jos North Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm a Plateau person. I rise this afternoon to support the motion ably moved that this matter should be heard because I think it's urgent and important. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Order, please. Honorable colleagues, please return to your seat. Honorable Garba. Inua.
Those in support of the motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Second leg of the motion. Any seconder to the second leg? Yes, Honorable.
Honorable colleagues, please allow the speaker to do the job. Please return to your seat, please. Please return to your seats. Inua Garba, please return to your seat, please.
Honorable Kumo, maybe because of... okay, try it now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Orowanam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleagues. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Daladi, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Note that Lokoja is the state capital of Oyo State, border with over 10 states connecting the eastern, western, and southern and northern regions. Also note that the major trunk roads accommodate hundreds of vehicles on daily basis, connecting different destinations
in the wisdom of the executive governor of Kogi State, the international market located along the road has been relocated with commencement of construction in a new and more conducive site as part of urgent effort to decongest the road and curtail threats to life from frequent accidents. Also aware that the Section 14, 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, affirm the sanctity of the welfare and security of citizens as a core purpose of governance. Also worried that within 2025 alone, over 10 accidents have occurred on Lokoja-Benin Expressway, leading to unavoidable and sad loss of many precious lives, especially the students. Also worried that those accidents in the said road leaves many others sustained at various degrees of injuries, including incapacitations in significant numbers. Concerned that on Monday, 17th of February 2025, a very strategic accident occurred involving about 10 students of the Federal University of Lokoja alongside driver conveying them, and articulated trucks carrying woods ran into the school shuttle bus conveying students, leading to the loss of their lives. Also concerned that along this particular route, many students of Kogi State Polytechnic and residents of Lokoja, neighboring Felele and immediate communities or travelers have met their untimely deaths on a regular basis. Disturbed, the strategic accident has become a recurring decimal and has put the residents of the area and travelers along the road in perpetual fear. Also disturbed that overspeeding or reckless driving by truck and tanker driver has been identified as mainly because of repeated accidents leading to the loss of lives and people traveling in that area. Further disturbed that if nothing is done to salvage the worrisome situation, it may result in the continued loss of innocent lives in a large scale. Cognizant of the need that the speedy construction of the bypass flyover bridge and expansion of the road is part of measure to curtail further loss of innocent and productive lives on the 2-kilometer stretch on the highway and mitigations against future occurrence. Resolve to observe 1 minute silence in honor of all those who lost their precious life in the incident, and all the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Works in collaboration with Federal Emergency Road Maintenance Agency to expedite an expansion of the road and construct a flyover with complementary pedestrian bridge along the road for use by students and other citizens. Also urge the House to direct the ban and restrict the movement of trailers and trucks within Lokoja and Metropolis to only night operation from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in order to ensure safety and enhance traffic management. Number 4, to mandate the House Committee on Works, FEMA, Transport, and Legislative Compliance to ensure the implementation of those resolutions and report progress back to the House in 2 weeks for further legislative action. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, the honorable colleagues, for listening.
Honorable David Aga, please.
Any seconder? Honorable Bio.
Bilningwari, please.
Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Speaker. My dear honorable colleagues, Mohammed Omar Bio is my name. I speak for the people of Barutin and Kayama Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Agui, my brother from Kogi. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Works, FEMA, Land Transport for further legislative action. Honorable Chinedu Ogam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu Ogam, I'm coming Order 6, Rule 1 and 2. And the constitutional point of
Honorable
order.
Chinedu, please let's observe the 1 minute silence as requested on this motion. Please, can we rise for 1 minute silence, please? May their soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu Ogao, and I represent the good people of Ikwo and the Zamfara Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Oyo State. My point of order this morning, Mr. Speaker, is Order 6, Rule 1 and 2. And the constitutional point of order is Section 36, Article 2A and B. Mr. Speaker, all of us here, 360 of us, are elected in our various constituencies. And we are elected here to make law for the good of this country. Mr. Speaker, every member here tried his efforts to make sure he present a bill to the chamber. But Mr. Speaker, where my right is infringed and my privilege is infringed, haven't worked hard to showcase my constituents why I'm elected. And a bill passed first reading, second reading, and third reading, and was passed by this House, and the leader and the clerk on the business rule transmit that bill to Senate. Mr. Speaker, that bill have not seen the light of the day to be concurred by the Senate. And every day, Mr. Speaker, the House of Reps will always enlist a bill from the Senate. So many members here can attest to this. And when those bills get there, the clerk of the business rule there will dump the bill from House of Reps. Such person have infringed the constitution of this country. It's not the right thing because we are all elected from our various constituencies to make law. And we are urging this House to look into it. That is very unnecessary for a staff of this National Assembly to deprive the National Assembly their right, the House of Reps their right. Why the House of Reps, under the able leadership of the Speaker, Dr. Tajun Abbas, is doing his best to make sure each time that a bill from the Senate comes to the House of Reps is being concurred, while our own is being put under the carpet. I hereby bring this point of order this morning so that Mr. Speaker and the leadership should look into it. It's affecting my own right and my own privilege. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chinedu. I'm sure the House had all the issues, and I will advise the clerk of the House to meet with his counterpart in the Senate to see what is really happening and what actions we need to take. Thank you so much for the observation.
Order, please.
Honorable colleagues, the business of the day is presentation of two reports of the Committee on Health Institutions, standing in the name of Honorable Patrick Umo. Honorable Umo is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, esteemed colleagues. My name is Dr. Patrick Umo. I represent the entire people of Ikore-Benin, Esienudim, Obodokara Federal Constituency. The Speaker, I'm a proud son of Akwa Ibom State. I rise this morning that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to
Please,
amend...
all zonal caucus leaders and regional caucus leaders that are present now, please can you approach the chair? Just for a minute, please. zonal and regional caucus leaders, and leadership as well.
With your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, may I take that again? I rise this morning that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 to establish Federal Medical Center or Relay, Lagos State, and for matters related thereto, HB 1356. Yet again, I rise that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters, HB 363. Right Honorable Speaker, esteemed colleagues, I so move.
Okay. Any seconder to this motion? My dear brother.
My able speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Dixon Taki. I represent the good people of Makurdi, Guma Federal Constituency. I'm from Plenary State. I rise this morning to second the motion as ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable Patrick Kumo, can you please proceed and lay your report?
Order, please. Honorable colleagues, please be seated. Please be seated.
Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the National Assembly Service Act number 63, 2014, and enact the National Assembly Service Act 2025 to provide for a clear administrative structure for the National Assembly Service, outlining the qualifications for the appointment of clerks, heads of directorates of the National Assembly, and the Secretary to Commission, enhance professionalism and accountability within the National Assembly's administrative framework and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Abbas Tajuddin and Honorable Marcos Onobun. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 5th February 2025. I now invite Honorable Onobun to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I'm Right Honorable Marcos Onobun. I represent the resplendent people of Eastern West, Eastern Central, and Igwebe Federal Constituency. I'm from Oyo State. Distinguished colleagues, this morning I rise to take the motion that the bill for an act to repeal the National Assembly Act be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Umaru.
Thank you, Excellency. My respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Dr. Jeremiah Umaru Isi, and I represent Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egowamba Federal Constituency. I am from Nasarawa State, sir. I stand to second the motion that the bill be read for the second time. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, we go ahead and put the question. Since all the issues raised under this bill are going to be comprehensively discussed during the public hearing. With your kind permission, we put the question. Those in support of this motion to be read the second time should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the National Assembly Service Act number 63 of 2014 and enact the National Assembly Service Act 2025 to provide for a clear administrative structure for the National Assembly Service, outlining the qualifications for the appointment of clerks, heads of directorates of the National Assembly, and the Secretary to the Commission, enhance professionalism and accountability within the National Assembly's administrative framework and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Public Service Matters for further legislative action. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act Cap 117, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Marine Insurance Act Cap M3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act Cap M22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria.
Order, please.
2004, the National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act Cap N54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act Cap N131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Act 2004 to provide for a comprehensive legal and regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. I now invite Honorable Alims to move that the bill be read a second time. I believe this is a Senate bill.
Yes.
It's a Senate bill, even though it's not indicated here. Okay,
Thank
please
you,
go ahead.
Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali, Alims is my name. I represent the good people of Zamfara, Malana, Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act Cap 117, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Marine Insurance Act Cap M3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act Cap M22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, the National 2004, the National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act Cap 5N54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act Cap N131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2004 to provide for a comprehensive legal and regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters, SB 393 for second reading. This is Senate bill, Your Excellency, sir.
Minority Leader, Honorable Salami, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bamidele Salam, at the north, at the south, at the Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise up this morning to second the motion that the bill be read for the second time. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act Cap I-17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. The Marine Insurance Act Cap M3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. The Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act Cap M22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. The National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act Cap N54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. The Nigerian Insurance Corporation Act Cap N131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2004 to provide for comprehensive legal regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, to provide for establishment of an electoral offences tribunal and ensure that all electoral matters are determined before swearing in of the elected office holders and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Bamidele Salam. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 30th April 2024. And I invite Honorable Salam to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Point of order.
Yes, please. Who is raising a point of order?
Thank you.
Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Mansour Manu Soro, member representing the Razo-Ganjua Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I came under Order 12.3 to observe that the bill in caution, I have a similar bill on the same subject matter. The
Mr. Speaker. The House Bill is 1154, sponsored by my humble self. So in view of the provisions of our rule, Order 12, Rule 3, I wish to apply that this bill be stepped down for it to be consolidated with my own bill and then listed for second reading, Mr. Speaker. The mover of this, the sponsor of this bill, Honorable Bamidele Salam, is a very good friend of mine, but the issue at stake is that of the adherence to the rule of the House.
Okay, Chairman rules, maybe we give you today to go and cross-check. We can temporarily step down this bill to tomorrow. If you confirm that the two bills are different, they are not similar, we can continue with the debate. Otherwise, but if you know you have an answer, you have already done your investigation, we can continue.
Mr. Speaker, sir, can I please make an explanation, Mr.
Okay, let the chairman rules first speak, and then we give you the opportunity to respond as well.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Masuru has quite a large number of constitutional amendments, and we thought pulling that out of his request and merging it with this as consolidated would leave a loop. So we wanted to take all his own.
But that's not the method of consolidation.
Yeah, that's why we didn't consolidate it. That's why
you can't consolidate at the point of second reading. It's supposed to be before second reading.
That's why we left them.
If it's on past second reading already, so where will you consolidate then?
Yeah, so we're not consolidating, Mr. Speaker, because...
So, but what if it is in the same subject matter, talking about the same issue?
His own are several. The one of Mansour, there are so many bills that he has brought up. And we want to do all at once.
Chairman, I don't think if you are talking logically in this regard. If you have several bills, each bill is unique in itself. You are supposed to be checking all bills of similar subject matter, make sure that they are not the same, because we cannot have two bills of the same subject matter being presented differently by different sponsors. That's why I was advising earlier, should we give you time to tomorrow? Once we adjourn today, you go back and check the bill, his own bill, and compare with Honorable Salam's bill, and see if they are similar. If they are completely the same, they will now urge Honorable Salam to step down his own.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Salam, I think in this situation, I would rather advise we step down temporarily. We check today. If they are the same, we have to find out. It is your own opinion is not the same. But he is saying something different. So we need to really check and confirm, beyond reasonable doubt, that they are not the same. You understand? Once we confirm that they are not the same, we give you the opportunity tomorrow, we continue with the debate. Nothing lost. Is that okay? So, honorable colleagues, will step down this debate temporarily to tomorrow for further investigation. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill.
Right Honorable Inua. Right Honorable Inua. Order.
The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center, National Assembly, Abuja, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Mohammed Bello Shehu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 4th October 2024, and now invite Honorable Shehu to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Shehu.
This bill is stepped down by the leave of the House. The fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish National Farm Settlement Agency to promote agricultural development, ensure food security, and foster economic growth by creating agro-allied industrial processing zones with a view to facilitate value addition in the agricultural sector and promote agri-business opportunities in Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Maruf Afolabi Afwape. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 8 October 2024. I now invite Honorable Maruf to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Afolabi Afwape. I represent the Premier Local Government in Nigeria, Abeokuta South Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, the gateway to the country. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I write this afternoon to move a motion that the bill for an act to establish National Farm Settlement Agency to promote agricultural development, ensure food security, and foster economic growth by creating agro-allied industrial processing zone with a view to facilitate value addition in the agricultural sector and promote agri-business opportunity in Nigeria and for related matter. HB 1347 be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Kelechi, Honorable Kelechi.
Thank you. The Honorable Speaker. My name remains Honorable Kelechi Wogu. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm from Rivers State. I speak for the people of Nigeria, starting from Eche Omoma Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, again, this is an establishment bill which does not require much debate. I believe at the point of public hearing, we can discuss about the major substance of the bills. So with your kind permission, we will go ahead and put the question. Those in support of the second reading of this bill should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish National Farm Settlements Agency to promote agricultural development, to ensure food security and foster economic growth by creating agro-allied industrial processing zones with a view to facilitate value addition in the agricultural sector and promote agro-business opportunities in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for further legislative action. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to make provision for diaspora voting and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Tochukwu Okere, honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 23rd May, 2024. I'll now invite Honorable Okere to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my well-respected colleagues. My name is Honorable Santochukwu Chinedu Okere. I speak for and represent the entire people of Owerri North, Owerri West, Owerri Municipal Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, I am an Owerri man from Imo State. I rise this afternoon to move a motion on a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to make provision for diaspora voting and for related matters, HB 1396, to be read a second time. I so move.
Honorable, can you approach the chair, please? Please.
Order, please. Order, please. Honorable members, please vacate the aisle. Honorable Ibe, order, please. Honorable Jajere, please. Honorable Shiroma, please dissolve that cabinet, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues. I still remain Honorable Satochukwu Chinedu Okere. I represent and speak for the entire people of Owerri North, Owerri West, Owerri Municipal Federal Constituency. I am an Owerri man from Imo State. I seek the leave of Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues to step down this bill. Thank you.
This bill is stepped down by the leave of the House. The seventh order of the day is a motion on resurgence of banditry attacks in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State. Standing in the name of Honorable Suleiman Abubakar Gumi, Honorable Gumi is hereby invited to move the motion. Honorable Gumi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, please. Order, please. Honorable Hussein Hassan, if you don't keep quiet, I will remove that red cap today and declare you an APC member immediately.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I am Dr. Suleiman Abubakar Gumi. I represent the good people of Gumi, Bukuyum Federal Constituency from Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, my motion is on the resurgence of banditry attacks in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State. The House notes that the level of insecurity as a result of banditry in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State has increased. Aware that on the 21st January 2025, bandits attacked Gwashi in Bukuyum local government area and burnt 2 military vehicles. Similarly, on the 19th January 2025, bandits killed a young man and abducted 7 persons in Nasarawa Burkulu, and on the 16th January 2025, abducted 29 women and 8 men in Kamaru village, all in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State. Also aware that on the 9th January 2025, 2 community protection guards were killed along Gurusu Nasarawa Burkulu Road when they were ambushed by bandits. On the 6th January 2025, dozens of bandits in 3 subgroups rode on motorcycles and sporadically shot and attacked Ghana district in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State, abducting 50 civilians, mostly old men, women, and children, killing, maiming, and looting foodstuffs, cattle, before setting the district ablaze. Informed that 7 months prior to the January 6, 2025 attack, residents of Ghana district in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State signed a peace deal with the armed group, paying millions of naira as a protection levy to enable them cultivate their farms. Further aware that the bandits hid in the forest between Bukuyum and Anka local government area and launched a deadly attack on Adapka district in Bukuyum local government area weeks before the 6th January 2025 attack on Ghana district. Though the Joint Task Force lost personnel in the attack, but were able to repel the rampaging bandits. Observe that due to the far distance of the military bases, Yashi, Ruanjema, and Keram wards in Bukuyum local government area are constantly attacked by bandits, thus leading to the displacement of persons. Concerned that due to the lack of adequate military hardware, such as armored personnel carriers and the existing military bases in the area, bandits are having a field day perpetuating their dastardly act of killing, maiming, and kidnapping. Also concerned that due to the absence of military posts on Mayanchi Junction, Burusu, Gumi Road, travelers on the road are currently at the mercy of bandits occupying the entire stretch of the road. Believe that the establishment of forward operating bases by the military in Yashi, Ruanjema, and Keram wards in Bukuim local government, and equipping the Mopol unit in Adapka district with sophisticated military hardware such as armored personnel carriers will make a significant difference in curbing banditry in all the communities in Bukuim local government area, thereby ensuring adequate protection of lives and properties. The House resolves to, 1, urge the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management to provide relief materials to the displaced persons in the affected areas in Bukuim local government area. Also urge the Chief of Defense and military staff to urgently set up forward operating bases in Yashi, Ruanjema, and Keram wards in Bukuim local government area of Zamfara State to curb banditry in the area and enhance adequate security of lives and properties. 3, commend the military for intensifying efforts towards curbing banditry in Zamfara State, the Northwest region, and the country in general. Mandate the committees on defense, army, emergency, and disaster preparedness, and internally displaced persons and refugees to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Hussein Jallo.
Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, I'm Husseini Mohammed Jallo, representing Ikebe Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. I hereby second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Defense, Army, Emergency and Disaster Preparedness and Internally Displaced Persons. That's Committee on Humanitarian Services for further legislative action. The 8th order of the day is a motion on the need to appoint additional mandate secretaries in the Federal Capital Territory for adequate representation of area councils in the territory, standing in the name of Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika. Honorable Obika is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika. I represent Amagbari Federal Constituency, FCT. Note that the mandate secretaries are high-level administrative officials appointed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to oversee specific areas of governance within the Federal Capital Territory, such as the ministers in the Federal Executive Council and the commissioners in the State Executive Councils. Also note that Section 299, Section 1B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, provides that Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, shall be treated as one of the states of the Federation for the purpose of participation in the nation's economic, political, and social activities. Aware that the President, through the Federal Capital Territory Minister, appoints the mandate secretary for the administration of the Federal Capital Territory, these appointments were made to reflect the geopolitical zones of the country only. Also aware that the Federal Executive Council and the State Executive Council have in the state and the local governments representation, respectively, in their cabinets, which becomes necessary for the Federal Capital Territory to be treated as if we are a state and should have area council committee representative in the Federal Capital Territory. Concerned that the current number of the mandate secretaries may not be sufficient to meet the growing administrative task and the governance needs of the rapidly expanding Federal Capital Territory population and development, as well as gives sense of inclusivity to the people of the Federal Capital Territory. Concerned that the current number of the mandate secretaries may not be sufficient to meet the growing administrative task and governance needs of the rapidly growing and expanding Federal Capital Territory population and development, as gives a sense of belonging and inclusivity to the nation's capital territory, cognizant that the additional mandate secretaries will enhance good governance, service delivery, adequate representation of the Federal Capital Territory people in the policy, coordination, and implementation at the grassroots level. Resolve to urge the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to appoint 6 additional secretaries to enhance good governance, effective service delivery within the Federal Capital Territory. Also urge the President to appoint additional mandate secretaries from each of the area councils. The appointees must be a resident within and with in-depth knowledge of the area council he or she represents to ensure adequate representation of the area council's effective administration of the Federal Capital Territory. Finally, mandate the Committee on Federal Capital Territory to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Harris.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, my name is Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo. I speak for the people of the Idemili North and South Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this very important motion, ably moved by my brother. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Federal Capital Territory for further legislative action. The 9th order of the day is a motion on the need to include Ndokwa, Okwani Federal Constituency in the Amnesty Program, standing in the name of Honorable Nnamdi Ezechi. Honorable Ezechi is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency, honorable colleagues. Nnamdi Ezechi is my name, and I represent Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to present this important motion titled Need to Include Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency in the Amnesty Program. The House knows that the Amnesty Program was established to address the grievances and reintegrate ex-militants from the Niger Delta region into society. Also know that Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency in Delta State consists of 3 local government areas, namely Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West, and Okwani, all of which are oil-producing regions. Further know that these communities host multinational oil companies, including Nigerian Ajib Oil Company, Sterling Exploration and Energy Production Company, SIPCO, Pillar Oil, Platform Oil Limited, Midwestern Oil and Gas, Orlando PLC, Energy Oil and Gas, amongst others. Concerned at the exclusion of Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency from the Amnesty Program is causing growing frustration among local population, potentially leading to severe social and economic unrest. Worried that the Amnesty Program inadequacy in providing support and rehabilitation opportunities to former militants and restive youth is causing a cycle of violence and poverty. Also worried that the absence of federal intervention in these areas undermine efforts to establish lasting peace and security in the region. The House also aware that the inclusion of Ndokwa Federal Constituency in the Amnesty program would aid in disarmament, demobilization, reintegration, promoting peace, equity, fairness, and development in the region. The House resolves urge the Ministry of Regional Development Affairs to prioritize developmental projects and vocational training programs in Ndokwa Federal Constituency to provide sustainable livelihood, reduce youth restiveness, and promote peace and stability in the region. Also urge the federal government to immediately include Ndokwa Federal Constituency in the Amnesty program to address grievances of the affected youth and ensure equitable treatment. Also urge the Presidential Amnesty Office to conduct a thorough assessment of the situation in Ndokwa Federal Constituency to facilitate its inclusions. And finally, Mr. Speaker, mandate the Committee on Niger Delta Ministry, host communities, to engage community leaders, youth groups, and other stakeholders in Ndokwa Federal Constituency to ensure a smooth and effective integration into the amnesty program. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable colleague, I think I just need as a clarification. You have been mentioning Ministry of Niger Delta. I thought the ministry has been changed to Ministry of Regional Development. Are you talking about that or another ministry?
Mr. Speaker, I think that amendment is correct. It's a Ministry of Regional Development.
Okay,
Committee on Regional Development, yes.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
So we take seconder, Honorable Billy.
Thank you, Speaker. My honorable colleagues, Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Asawaro, I represent the good people of Orion, the Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Benin chief. I rise to second this motion, ably moved by Honorable Ezechi. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Niger Delta Ministry and host communities. I don't think if we have changed the name of the Niger Delta Ministry yet, right? It's still reflecting this name.
It has been changed, Mr. Speaker.
Has it been changed?
Yes, sir, it has been changed.
To
Committee on Regional Development.
Committee on Regional Development.
It's now Committee on Regional Development, Mr. Speaker.
Formally changed here.
Yes.
So this motion is referred to the Committee on
Regional Development.
Regional Development and host communities for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, I have some further announcements for you. The first is on the ad hoc committee on the need to investigate the crisis in Oyo State, which we earlier deliberated. And it's my honor to announce that Honorable Idris Ahmed Wase will serve as the chairman of the committee, with Honorable Fred Abedi as member, Honorable Ahmed Jaha, Honorable Kabir Ahmadu, Honorable Wale Raji, Honorable Innoli Naji, Honorable Dalade Aguyi as members. They have 1 week to report back to the House for further action. Again, this is to inform all members that there is a slight change on our earlier announcement to hold public hearing on the tax reform bills, slated to hold earlier on Wednesday, 26th February 2025 at 10 a.m. The new schedule is to allow 3 consecutive plenary days to accommodate wider participation and knowledge-based contributions from all stakeholders. Consequently, the new schedule is as follows. Day 1, Tuesday, 25th February 2025 at 10 a.m., overview of tax reform bills and initial stakeholder inputs. Wednesday, 26 February 2025, 10 a.m., discussion on key provisions and experts. Well, the days will be communicated by the activities of the committee will be communicated by the ad hoc committee. For us to know, more importantly, is that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be dedicated for public hearing. And in so doing, we encourage all members to please participate, be there to observe and to contribute. We may not have plenary on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that we ensure all members of the House are going to fully participate. So we encourage all honorable members and stakeholders to actively participate in these sessions to ensure that we achieve a comprehensive understanding of the implications of the tax reform bills. Your contributions are invaluable as we work towards effective tax reforms. This announcement is coming from the House leadership. Again, we have another announcement, and it's still in the same subject matter of our public hearing. This is to inform all members of the expanded ad hoc committee of public hearing on the tax reform bills that there will be a meeting as follows. Date, Monday, 24th February 2025. Venue, former temporary chambers. Time, 2 p.m. Please note that this meeting is intended to kickstart preparations for the 3-day public hearing. And also again, House leadership. Honorable colleagues, on a sad note, we received an information from our brother, Honorable Julius G. Bondi, the Chairman, House Committee on Environment, on the passing of a great patriot, Chief Pa Edwin Kiabodo Clark, Gorogo, OFR-CFR. His message reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I thank you all for granting me the leave to formally bring the notice of this to this hallowed chamber, the transition of my adorable father figure constituent, Chief Edwin Clark, a scion of the Clark dynasty of Kiagbodro town in Mbebiri Kingdom in southern Delta State. Chief Edwin Clark was a notable nationalist of immense significance to the Ijaw people of the country, a dependable voice for the people of the South-South region, and a key player in national affairs, dating back from the military era of our affable and adorable retired General Yakubu Gowon. Only yesterday morning, the nation was greeted with the news of his passing at the ripe age of 97 years. In matters of human relevance to the advancement of the collective aspiration of a people, one cannot be too old to pass on to join the ancestors. Yes, Chief E.K. Clark lived long enough to answer the call of our Creator. However, the fact remains that we of the Ijaw nation, and indeed the South-South, would have wished he lived on. Now he can only live in our memories when we recall his good deeds for his people and the country. He was an enigma and a solid personality, deeply and affectionately loved by his people and the generality of the South-South people. Mr. Speaker, sir, I must confess that I feel eternally honored and humbled that I've enjoyed the distinction of being the honorable representative of the late Chief E.K. Clark, now of blessed memory. As a 3-time member of this honorable house, I admit that I drank from this fountain of knowledge of the ever-vibrant dynamics of the political evolution of our dear country. His antecedents in the political space of the country are in the public domain. A brief recall of some of the milestones he crossed are necessary. Soon after the Nigerian Civil War, Chief Edwin Clark, then a very young man of ideas and scholarship, served as the Honorable Commissioner for Education in the government of Brigadier General Samuel Ogbebudia, who was then the military governor of former Midwest State. Our chief, fondly referred to as Gogorogo by the Ijo people, later became the Federal Commissioner for Information in the government of General Yakubu Gowon, himself an icon of the evolution of the Nigerian state. Mr. Speaker, sir, Chief Edwin Kiakpodo Clark, we must not forget, was at the time a member of this great institution, where he served as a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He served in a number of federal and state committees that were set up at critical times to address emerging issues as they affected Delta State and the Nigerian nation. As it is known in the affairs of men, there is time for everything. There is a time to be born, and there is a time to die. There is a time to mourn, and there is a time to rejoice. Today, the nation has been thrown into mourning, but in our grief, we rejoice that he lived well to the satisfaction of his people. At the twilight of his life, he founded the Pan-Niger Delta Development Forum, PANDEF, a platform he leveraged so effectively to drum up support of Nigeria for the development of the Niger Delta region. Mr. Speaker, my people since yesterday slipped into grief. In our grief, we also rejoice that Chief E.K. Clark did not let his people down. He also did not let Nigeria down. In the circumstance, therefore, it will be appropriate to mark his passing with a minute silence by our respected honorable members in this chamber. A vote for a call to immortalize Chief E.K. Clark by the federal government will also be desirable as a mark of appreciation by an appreciative nation to one of our own. Signed, Honorable Julius Babojo Pondi. Honorable, can you rise for recognition? Thank you very much. So, honorable colleagues, please can we rise for a minute silence? May his soul rest in peace. The leader of the House, please can you move? Leader of the House, please can you move that we suspend our relevant rules to adopt the votes and proceedings of today?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I move that step down the rule of the House to enable us to adopt the proceedings of today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Alapere constituency of Cornerstone. I stand to second the motion as moved. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Honorable colleagues, I'm sure you will recall that we slated Tuesday next week for the valedictory session of our deceased colleagues. In view of this new development of the public hearing coming up from Tuesday next week, will be postponing shortly. The valedictory sessions will announce another date for that particular program in due course. We are sorry for this short notice. Leader of the House, please can you move for adjournment to tomorrow, Thursday, 11 a.m.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali lives is my name. I'm from Kogi State and I represent Ankpa Omala Lambara Federal Constituency. Having dealt justly with all the items on the other paper, I hereby move that the House adjourn to meet tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader, please, can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Alapere constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that we do adjourn to tomorrow, 11 a.m. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it to go, and the nays can remain until tomorrow, Thursday, 11 a.m. Thank you.